think it's time for a podcast that focuses on AI for enterprise, first and foremost. There's a glut of information when it comes to AI. I would say 99% of the information that is being spewed out on AI today is also AI generated. There is really not a lot of human experience behind it. People are taking content that's already there, they're asking AI to modify it, and they're just projecting that as their content. It's becoming easier and easier to spot these things when you see somebody's two-page article on LinkedIn about what AI can do. You're seeing similarities. The same article in some shape or form appeared a week ago, a month ago. The originality in some of these posts and articles are going down. We are focused on AI for enterprise. What does that mean? It's not the consumer side of AI. Large enterprise organizations, businesses, manufacturers, healthcare providers, banks, insurance companies, educational institutions, state and local governments, retail companies. How do they make sense of AI? How do they adopt AI? What's important here is in understanding, first and foremost, that it's not just going to be let's buy a piece of software and stick it in there. It'll work and we'll all be happier because we just implemented AI. It's not that at all. We are back to the early days of cloud infrastructure, where a lot of my discussions 10 years ago with customers were, why should you go to cloud? What is the business value of cloud? How can you monetize that? And how can you demonstrate that by adopting cloud, you're better off as an organization, better off as a business? It gives you a competitive advantage and so on and so forth. Fast forward to 2025, we're almost at the end of 2025 now. Cloud is a no-brainer. You talk to any CIO, CFO, any C-level executive, they believe in cloud. They've seen the success coming out of cloud. They may all be at different stages in adopting cloud, but there's no doubt in their mind that they're going to adopt cloud. With AI, I think we have to build that pathway for customers, for them to realize that this is the future. The way to build that pathway is by sharing thought leadership, by bringing in not only our experience from talking to customers, to our partners in the Oracle ecosystem, in other places, but also bringing in customers who have experienced AI or who have done some of their own research and analysis and who are willing to contribute their ideas and say, here's what I think should happen in this business function, because this is where we are headed. We're going to try it. We're going to experiment with it. We think we're going to make it successful because they're intentional in their efforts. Those people have ideas to share, a lot of good thoughts that we think others could benefit from. The focus is really AI for enterprise and how can the enterprise be made better. We can go down into specific business functions. When we have a guest on the podcast that is from a finance background, we want to drill down deep into some finance use cases. If you have somebody from government and education, we want to talk about those use cases. If you have somebody from healthcare, we want to talk about those use cases. Sometimes we want to have technology experts or industry experts who can just talk about trends in AI. What is the adoption out there looking like? What should we expect? One thing that's happening with AI that did not happen with cloud and previous disruptions is the pace at which this technology is changing. What you thought was the latest and greatest 6 months ago is almost obsolete now because the technology is moving so fast. Obsolete may be a harsh word. I think it's being replaced where you have to be more current with these things. Keeping pace with AI is also going to be something that customers have to grapple with. There are going to be tools and solutions that make it easier for them, but they have to understand that if they thought that change was too much in the past, now it's going to be constant change, but for the better, with more automation, more orchestration, more coordination. Understanding that and putting that into their ecosystem, slowly but surely, building a strong foundation with one or two use cases, and then developing more on top of that, I think is what customers need to understand and practice. What we want to do in the podcast is give them some real world examples, hopefully introduce them to some of our customers who are doing this successfully, talk about their journeys on where they started, how they decided to adopt it, why they adopted a particular use case or technology solution. Hopefully there's some learning from all of that for other customers.